Today, I'll be going over competence to testify, a concept that ensures witnesses are capable of giving meaningful and reliable evidence in court. I'll draw from Melton et al.'s authoritative forensic psychology handbook to explore how courts determine this kind of competence. So, what is competence to testify? Competence to testify means that a witness has the necessary mental and communicative abilities to provide useful testimony. It applies broadly, not just to children or individuals with disabilities. The standard ensures the witness can understand, recall, and relate events truthfully. There's legal criteria, so there are 4 main legal abilities a witness must possess. First is the ability to perceive or observe the events. The second is the ability to remember those events. Third is the ability to communicate what they remember. And then finally, the moral understanding that they must tell the truth. And these standards are grounded in both common law and evidentiary rules. Now, children as witnesses, children are presumed competent unless shown otherwise. Courts look at factors like developmental stage or their age, memory strength, and whether they understand what it means to lie. While children can be more suggestible, that doesn't automatically make them incompetent. Each case must be judged individually. Similarly, adults with mental illness or developmental delays aren't presumed incompetent either. Evaluators must determine whether the witness can understand questions and answer them meaningfully. The key distinction here is that competence is about the ability to testify, not how believable or credible their testimony is. Now there's the forensic assessment task. So psychologists conducting evaluations may assess cognitive functioning and memory, communication ability, and the person's understanding of their role as a witness. Importantly, they don't make legal determinations. They provide clinical findings to help the court make a decision. So there's a clear distinction between a psychologist conducting a therapy session and then, versus a psychologist performing a forensic assessment. And the role of the evaluator is that forensic experts help the court by assessing whether a witness meets the statutory requirements. They also evaluate if accommodations, like a support person or interpreter, might enable the witness to participate meaningfully. The goal is inclusion when possible, not exclusion. And a critical part of competence is whether the witness understands the obligation to tell the truth. This is especially important for children. Courts may test this by asking the child to distinguish between truth and lies and to explain why telling the truth matters. It's important to understand that capacity is not equal to willingness. So it's essential to distinguish between these two. A person might refuse to testify out of fear or emotional distress, but if they're mentally capable of testifying, they are considered competent. Competence is about capacity, not motivation. You'll see this a lot in cases where there are children. They feel like maybe they will be in trouble for testifying, or especially in cases with mental disabilities, they might just be unwilling to testify versus, their capacity to do so. And finally, implications. So competency to testify focuses on basic cognitive and communicative abilities, not diagnosis. Evaluators assess the witness's functional ability to provide testimony, and the legal system aims to balance truth finding with fairness and access to justice. So just because a person has a specific diagnosis, it does not mean that they are incapable of testifying about a certain event. That would be an implication. And finally, the discussion question. So, how should courts handle witnesses who are competent to testify but are extremely suggestible, such as young children or adults with intellectual disabilities?